the skills that are in demand. What are the most busy areas that you have right now? What are the skills that everyone really wants right now in data science?
Okay, let's just talk about data science because we could be it's quite broad, it's quite variable as
Mm,
soon as we start talking about analysis and BI. So
yeah,
just data science, everyone uses Python. Even if it's not part of their tech stack, you'll be using Python in data
yeah,
science. It's it's kind of a shell level scripting language. You need it. At the fundamental level, you don't really need any of the, say, object-oriented compiler languages at all. So
mm,
Java is gone, C is gone. Really, it's just Python. Um, because it's a data science role, highly quantitative. So
mm,
almost everybody who is currently either a leader or a decision maker or a senior person within data science has come from a very academic background and quantitative background. So they would have used OR. And because of that, they've brought that experience with them into the
mm,
market. And the mature market now, most companies use OR for statistical analysis.
yep,
So there's definitely that as well, of course. And then, of course, you can't avoid VBA. Excel is not going anywhere anytime soon. Microsoft has saw to that. And then, of course, you've got SQL as well on a kind of a simple database interrogation level. So they're the kind of core programming components. And then, of course, you need to understand the concepts around machine learning, neural networks as well. Natural language processing, linking into computer vision is an area that's
yep,
really, really big in demand at the moment. Again, this is all about automating stuff. Nobody wants to be sitting there running tasks and running scripts in order to really get the best use out of data. They want to automate it and they want to look at things and extract information and useful info from data on an automated level. And that's why you need to learn all of those things. And just elsewhere as well, pandas are really, really important. Like pretty much every company who is recruiting for data science at the moment requires somebody who's got some sort of insight into pandas. TensorFlow, the big one, they're actually doing certifications at the moment, which are
okay,
online and free for TensorFlow. And I've found that the response from a lot of hiring managers who were recruiting in the data science space really warm to candidates who have bothered to do that free online TensorFlow certification. It's a weekend thing. And even at graduate level, those candidates kind of stand apart. So this is a tip for any graduates who are
mm,
looking to get into some sort of data science role. And then PyCharm as well as another one. Cloud platforms like AWS, of course, less so Azure.
yeah,
Um, but they're the kind of the predominant tech, and there's going to be lots of tech floating around that as well. So that's kind of more on the technical side of things. Um, but what we found as well are the softer skills. So
yeah,
with the pandemic, it's probably no surprise that, communication skills and collaboration skills are really more highly valued than they might have previously been.
mm,
No longer do you have your manager or a senior member of your team able to kind of throw an eye over to make sure you're going the right way and you're not wasting an hour by going the wrong direction. So it's now on unusually so, it's now on the worker themselves to be able to effectively communicate and to update, to make sure that they are managing their own work correctly, because it's all virtual now.
yeah,
And that's really, really important for employers. We're seeing that increasingly top of the list on the softer skills and job descriptions, and it's been articulated to us when we're having those
yeah,
introductions to clients. And then, of course, a strong work ethic to be able to self motivate in a tough virtual scenario. And then, of course, because it's a data role, and this applies to all data professionals, but a commercial mindset to understand the value of what you're doing ultimately to the
yeah.
business. That's pretty important too. Um,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I think
I think
those
that's it.
softer skills that's been I mean, for every client that I've interviewed, every person from Brightwater that I've talked to, that is a common theme. That those softer skills have really come to the fore now. And I think if we talked about the over a few different conversations with this round of interviews. The current batch of graduates hopefully have that softer, better communication skill set instilled in them now because they've
Mhm.
had to. They've had to
Yeah,
operate in that way. So
that's the point.
it's the one kind of one little silver lining out of all of this is that those graduates, if they get back on campus, and hopefully they do, I think some of them are right now, they're going to have that skill set which will really help them when they hit the working world.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, that's a
John,
really good point, actually.